I'm used to working with a 24-second shot clock, so I will try to extend a couple of more minutes longer. First, I want to honor the Chicago's first royal family, the Jackson family. Mama Jackson, children, grandchildren, all that you have stood for in Chicago, the home that you made in a place of peace and safety that you gave our leader, our Chicago Nelson Mandela. Thank you. I also like to honor the 5 presidents who are sitting here today. President Harris, President Clinton, President Bill Clinton, First Lady Jill Biden, President Biden, and Chicago's own South Side, President Barack Obama. Now I got to set the stage because a lot of us in here are a little older than some of the generation below us. So I was born in 1961 on the west side of Chicago, Cook County Hospital. But for those of us who were here living during that period of time as little young men, young women, 1961 to 1971, 63 Medgar Evans was assassinated. 65, Malcolm X was assassinated. Fred Hampton, assassinated, 69. Martin Luther King, assassinated, 68. The Kennedy brothers, assassinated. We had just come out of Jim Crow. I was the first one in my family to live outside of Jim Crow. Angela Davis was on the run. I had a free Angela Davis pen. And those of us who are sitting in this audience understood what Chicago was like. Us Chicagoans on the west side and the south side, from the 60s to the 70s, when every store was burned down. There was no place to go. There was one man, again, our Nelson Mandela at that time, stood tall, and I remember my mom and I standing in a soup line on Madison and Kedzie, one of the most humiliating times of our life. We had no food. We had moved 4 or 5 times. And this beautiful man, this legend, this hero, came walking down the street. And I, as a young boy, when society was telling me I was a nobody, when society was telling me we don't even want to go to school with you, This man walked down the street and walked up to me and my mom had marched with him before. He said hello to my mom, and then he did the unthinkable. Mama Jackson, your husband kneeled down, and he looked me in my eyes, and that man said, "You are somebody." At that time, I couldn't quite understand the feelings and emotions that I was having as a young kid, walking, trying to find food, looking for a place to go. But when he said, "I am somebody," it resonated with me that there was a whole world trying to make me a nobody. And when he knelt down and looked me in my eye and said, "You are somebody," and then he said, "Say it again, say, I am somebody. I am somebody. I am somebody." I looked up, my mom is crying. She's proud. But we couldn't get out of the soup line, right, Jonathan? We lose our spot. Y'all know it. You standing in that soup line, your friends walking by teasing you and everything, but you can't get out. Then he lifted me up emotionally on his shoulders, them broad shoulders that we all have stood on. Emotionally, spiritually, we all stood on that shoulder, on your family's shoulders. Then he left. And I was like, "Mama, that's the man we see on TV." She's like, yeah. So for us Chicagoans, right? When Muhammad Ali said, "I'm the greatest," on the national stage, that resonated to everybody. But for the kids in Louisville, Kentucky, oh, it hit different. When Nelson Mandela said in Soweto, South Africa, "Let my people go and free them," when he walked up and he spoke, oh, it hit different there. When Reverend Jackson said in Chicago, "I am somebody," and keep hope alive, oh, for us, it's different. Years later, in one of my most triumphant moments, he's running for president, 1988. We trying to beat the Lakers. We trying to dethrone the Lakers. My father-in-law, Gordon Kendall, is head of Secret Service for the family. We get a call, midnight, 1 in the morning. "Hey, I'm coming to the game." I said, how you gonna get to the game? You gotta, you running for president. People, "No, I'm coming to." Who just said he was the most popular man in the world in 1988? Who just said that? Was that you? 1988, he's the most popular man in the world, and he coming to my game. He shows up at the game in my most triumphant moment. We win. He walks in, and he kneels. He says a prayer. Then he lifted me up on those big, broad shoulders again. And he left. Years later, my mother passed away. And when my mother died, all of Chicago came out, represented, showed up, and we were at our lowest moment. And Reverend Jackson walked into the church. I remember sitting there with my brothers and sisters. And it was like this man this man who's been there my whole life. When we didn't know what to say, what to do on that day. We had no words from my mama. That man walked up to the stage and said, "I got this." And he sent my mama off, beautiful words and everything else. While we were at our lowest, again, he came and he lifted us up on those broad shoulders. Fast forward, all of us will remember the day when you was elected President of the United States. And I'll never forget that day when you walked out on the stage with your family, with our First Lady, Michelle, my former teammate, played bitty basketball with Craig. The pictures and the images, and those of you who were there, the tears that were in the audience, the long struggle. And if you can remember, the camera panned from our president to your husband, to your father, to your grandfather. And he stood there with tears in his eyes. And I know all of you remember this image. And those big, heavy, broad shoulders lifting you up, holding you high, saying, "I got you. I got you." Yes, that's what Reverend Jesse L. Jackson means to us in Chicago and all royal family. So we thank you for the courage. We thank you for the faith. We thank you for believing in us. And all of us who were so devastated from the 60s and the 70s, coming out of Jim Crow, trying to make a way out of no way. When he would improvise in a poem, "I am somebody," when he would say, "Even if I'm on welfare," I'm like, "Man, he talking to me." "Even if I'm poor," "Oh, he talking to me." He had a way of connecting personally with us. So today, when he said, "Keep hope alive," when there was no hope for us, and all of you here from Chicago know, in the 60s, we felt like there was no hope. Hope was lost. Hope was gone. This man gave us hope, gave us life, gave us energy. And today, I want to thank all of you for showing up. And to the organizers and presenters, I would just like to say to the organizers, when you took on the challenge to bring this man home, you couldn't understand the vastness and the multitudes that he touched. So there's no way you're going to be on time. It ain't going to happen. And you know why it's not going to happen? Because all of us here, when you look around, we are from every single walk of life. Rich, poor, strong. He brought it all together. The Rainbow Coalition. Thank you. Appreciate you. Mama, Don't you get up. I'm coming over to tell you I love you.